Hi there, this is an introduction on how to interview since we are preparing to interview in some capacity, even though we're in shelter in place and we're not at school and we're not able to do the full mock interview that we normally do. You'll still be asked to do some sort of interview in some capacity within the next few weeks. So, in this class, your teacher will give you a list of questions that you can read over and prepare for. They are common interview questions that people are asked in many different industries. And our advice for answering some of these interview questions is to stay focused on it. So, try and avoid tangents, try and stick to the question that's being asked. And then also remember that these questions are a way for an interviewer to learn about who you are. So you want to make sure you're giving detailed answers, not like 10-second answers, but answers that show your personality, show your work ethic, and show your experience. Another thing to remember is to stay positive. So instead of saying that you are slow to make decisions, you would want to rephrase that and say that you are methodical and diligent. So something we always tell our freshman seminar students is that you should be trying to make really good first impressions at an interview with everyone you encounter. So this includes like if there's a parking attendant or a receptionist to the hiring manager. Employers, as it says here, are often curious how the applicants are treating other staff members. And if you are rude to a staff member or if you come across as arrogant, that won't speak well for you when you actually are interviewing with the hiring manager. Normally, when we do these in school, the interviewers are all set up and they see you walking into the room, and we tell you guys to be respectful, be polite, be courteous, be professional at all times. So, although we can't do this year, we want you guys to know this and remember this for when you do have a job interview. So, a big part of making a good first impression is not only your behavior and the fact that you're courteous and nice and polite and professional, but also that your dress and your appearance is professional and presentable. So, things like chewing gum or being on your phone or joking, or even, although it may be authentic, even saying how scared you are, these things can all take away from a positive first impression that you want to make. And if you're ever doing a video conferencing interview on Zoom, WebEx, etc., you also want to maintain that professional appearance. So with what you're wearing, with your background, you want to make sure that it's appropriate and good for a professional setting. So at the start of an interview, it is customary to shake hands. As you know, during this time, that is obviously not encouraged in any scenario. Um, but I've circled in blue the things that you can do in a job interview. So maintaining eye contact is really important. Having a friendly greeting, right? Something like, hello, my name is blank. It's very nice to meet you. And then if you've been standing when you've said this, you can sit down and give them your full attention. If you're on a video conferencing platform, obviously like not looking distracted, not having your phone going off during the interview, background noises, whatever. You want to make sure you're very focused on the interview and what's happening. So during the interview, as best you can, listen very carefully to what the interviewer is asking. If you're in a group interview, you want to also be listening to what the other interviewees say, because if someone else in your group interview answers a question a certain way, you want to make sure that your answer is not just saying the same thing that they said. Even if it's also true for you, you want to make sure you're distinguishing yourself from others. And then advice for an interview would be to, sit up, not slouch, follow the conversation by looking at whoever's speaking, remember your body language. When we talk about avoiding bad habits, we mean maybe like wringing your hands or moving your feet too much, or like looking in all kinds of different directions. In a Zoom interview or a WebEx, whatever, this would be a little bit different. You would follow these rules, but they can only see you from like here up, so they can't see your feet if they're moving really fast. But just be careful of body language in any interview setting. So when you're answering, you do want your answers to be authentic to you. So obviously, don't make up anything that's not true to you. You want to speak to your own experiences, your own beliefs and thoughts. Of course, making sure that they're, interview appropriate, they're professional. You want your answers to be upbeat. So even if you naturally fall into like a more monotone style of voice, you do want to sound excited that you are in this interview and you could have a chance to work for this employer. Answers should be focused, again, focused on the question that they asked you. Be confident. You don't want to trail off your answers, with little phrases like I guess or sometimes. You want to state things confidently, they are true to you. And then for the last one, try and keep your answers concise. So again, you're providing detail, you're explaining your answers, but use the right amount of words necessary. Again, no tangents. Try not to be long-winded or saying too much. You want to say just enough, be clear, be concise, be direct, give concrete details, all that type of thing. Okay, so everyone who has been in a job interview knows that something might go wrong. You can ask anyone in your life who has experienced a job interview, and they're probably going to tell you there was at least one question that they felt they didn't answer correctly, or they got stuck in the middle. So if you are asked a question, and let's say you start, but then you kind of freak out and you're thinking, this is not the direction I want to go in, first of all, just relax. Kind of take a deep breath. It'll give you a moment to think and pivot to what you're going to do next. Number 3 says regroup. It is okay to stop and have them repeat the question that they asked you. It'll buy you more time. It'll help you feel more relaxed because you're sure of the question that you heard. And then for number 4, all of those things will let you end that question with an answer that you are proud of. So at the end of an interview, traditionally, if you're doing it in person, you would probably be seated. So then at the end of the interview, you would stand up and shake the interviewer's hand. But the lovely freshman seminar teacher, Miss Hollison, made this slideshow customized to shelter in place. And she very astutely noted that we will probably not be shaking hands for a while. So the smile and wave technique is a good one. And it says, no matter what, always thank the interviewer for their time and end the interview as professional as possible. Even if it is signing off of a Zoom, I know that can feel strange, but it's important to have some sort of closure and then you can sign off. All right, so check in with your freshman seminar teacher, see if they have posted some questions for you to practice, and get friends and family members to run through the questions with you. You want to be comfortable and prepared. Look back at all your old assignments in freshman seminar where you wrote about your work values, you wrote about your strengths, you talked about transferable skills. All of that work we did all semester was meant to give you plenty of good ideas and the right language to use in a job interview. So best of luck and good luck preparing.